Hello and welcome back to Safe Haven Valley Railroad. This is the part 5 and hopefully the final episode of this build, Brotman's Hobbies. It's been a fun build. I've been working with it and having fun with it. Trying out my alcohol markers that I've had for a while and wanted to use it on a kit that didn't really cost me a lot but would be fun. And so Frank from Mud Creek Models had a really good one for $10, so that's what we ended up doing. So tonight, just gonna finish up a couple of things. I'll be doing the tar paper roofing, doing the stencil cut trimming and putting on the stencil and stenciling the name on the building, and going over what I've already done. And then with that, we'll do a final take on the whole build and my opinion of the product of alcohol markers, and then wrap it up. And this project will be complete. So with that, let's jump on over to the bench. Okay, so let's start with where I left off last time. I kind of forgot where I left off a little bit, but let's do a take over the building where we're at so far, and then we'll move right on in to our next phase. This is where we're at on the build. Let me bring some light on to the subject here. So in the beginning, we did kind of a blue-green, blue-grayish color marker on the piece, and it turned out really well. And then we did a brown, kind of brownish color with these two markers. And then I did a shadow gray wash. Let's see there. Can we get that in there very close up? There we go. That works. The light's working for me. Okay, there you go. You can see how there's a little bit of darkness to some parts, but that's what I wanted to go for, like it's been used and everything else. And then I did the trim where we left off and talked about all of that. I went ahead and laid down, I love using double-sided sticky tape, so I went ahead and laid it down. It is already prepped and ready to go for this portion of the build tonight. And for that, we'll be using what comes in the kit, strips of tar paper that come on a spindle like this that Frank puts in the kit. And then, on this side, we will put Brotman's Hobbies. I am going to try to do it in black. And then, if you remember, on the front of the building, Frank only had it looking like this. The one on the right over here does not have supports for the roof, nor does this one. He just has that done a little different for either build he's done. I decided to do a little bit more to it. If you remember, I chalked the roofing and to look like this. It's kind of a grayish color. My camera is not wanting to focus. Anyway, this is the shingles that I took and made look like this. Look how that came out. I did it deliberate the way I did it because I wanted it to look really realistic. There. Look how worn those are. There's even a couple of them missing, and it's due for repairs and stuff like that. That's just what I like, making that look as natural as possible when I build it, because then I don't have to try so hard. If I mess up doing a later step down the road, it's already messed up. So you making however it comes out makes it look better. Maybe some. I've had it where it didn't make it look the way I wanted it, so I had to scratch it and redo it, but this one turned out very well. So again, I got the double-sided sticky tape, and that is where we are on the next step. And I have a way of doing my own roofing because of the way that I put it on. It's kind of an interesting how I do it. What I do is and let me zoom in on here as we get ready to do this. So let me move that up out of the way. Where's my knife? There's my knife. Let me zoom in so you guys can see it a little better, hopefully. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run a whole piece, like tar paper goes all the way across. So I'm going to just, basically, I'm going to put this on, and then I'll show you how it looks. Because once we get it on, it's going to look so good. Just like that. It's just going to go on just like that. I'm going to make sure it looks good before I go to the next one, because I want it to look the absolute best. And I can make it. Again, I'm not aiming for perfection on this. I still want it to look nice, just because that's how modelers we do things. But I'm just primarily doing this as a $10 test build, just to see where my likes and dislikes are for the build, and using what I use. Again, I will, when I'm done tonight, I will definitely go back over. So actually, I did that backwards. I should start here. So let me fix that. That's what I like about it. You can peel it up and start over. I started on the wrong end. And look how clean and neat that is. Boom. That is done. Now I'm just going to go up and just build myself all the way up. And you don't have to be so direct, straight in a thing. You can make it look like there's... I'm going to be doing something a little bit different, like I did on another build. Where did that go? Where did I put that? Oh. It was on my custom designed engine house. And I will show you how I make tar. That's right. You'll get to see how I make tar tonight, because I'll be putting tar on tar paper as if it was just a patch. So some people put a piece of paper and just do it that way. That's not how I do it. Because if you look at the old roofs, you don't see big patches of squares on every single building. You just see blobs of tar everywhere. So that's what I'm going to be shooting for. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do. All right, let's just fly up these walls. Just get them all done. You know, try to make them uniform as possible, obviously, but and then we'll trim them down. I'm doing what I can with it, so okay. Oop. Okay, one more. Should do it. Now, all I gotta do is just turn this upside down, like that. And what I'm gonna do is just apply firm pressure, light firm pressure, just to keep it flat. And then I'm just gonna take my blade and just go right along. That did not work the way I wanted it to, darn it. Darn nabbit. Of course. That's what I did not do. I forgot to change my blade because this one was dull. So give me a second here. I got these blades off of Amazon, just so you know. I got 100 for like $10 or whatever it was. And I am not complaining with the price because I've learned if I'm doing small builds like this, I can get a couple of builds out. So I am going to just quickly fix my mistake here. Okay, so we will just cut you off right there. Okay. Some of these didn't cut, and I'm not very happy about it because it's, after all, it's just paper after all, but that's not what I wanted. Okay, I fixed it. Now it looks a little better. And I went for the look where it's not so straight, and it's okay, because people messed up on the roofs, but I don't want it too crooked. So I'm gonna pull this back up and just kind of bring it down just a little bit. There. I'm okay with that. Just press down on it. Make sure it all is going to stick okay. Okay, perfect. There we go. Now, what about the next one you say? Okay. Alright, so I am going to do something real quick. I am going to line up the rest of these. This is a trick I've learned. If you have multiple pieces that you want to cut, you just make a stack of them. So I'm taking the rest of these and just stacking them. And if you got to make sure they're all, at least one side's all the same, even. So what I'm going to do is just take this and just put them together. I think this is the right size. Yep, we're going to go with that. So with that, got my scissors here. Now I'm just going to go down right on the edge and just press right down on it so when you cut it, they don't fan out. That's okay, they spread it up there, no biggie. So now, we got our bottom roofing. Nice. That's starting to look pretty darn good. So now the pieces we just trimmed, we just kind of just go up one layer at a time. Just like the other one. There, I messed up on that one. Second one there, it's got it a little bit too high. Now that looks a little better, and then we just keep on going up. Oh, come on. See, these roofing pieces, well, my fingers don't help. They're kind of stiff tonight from my job. I work with brick all day. I cut brick. So I tried to come home, and this actually, believe it or not, does help my fingers become more nimble. Alright, it's not working with me, so I'm just going to just shoot from the hip here. Do an alternative wide angle row here, just to give a little bit of depth. See how that came out like that? That's okay. I'm just going to go with it. So I need a couple more pieces, so I'm going to just a couple of these other ones that I trimmed are actually perfect for this. Nope. So what I'll do is I will just trim a little bit off one. There. Come. Jeez. Just stay. Just stay. Don't worry, it will stay in the end because what I have planned, it will not go nowhere. So here we are, the last piece on the roof. I'm just kind of fiddling with it. I will trim this in a minute, but before I do that, I want to get the next step done. So let's do that. So how I make my tar is pretty cool. I need, where did it go? Black acrylic paint and glue. You can use your wood glue, you can use whatever glue it is that you use, but it is those two ingredients. Come on, air bubble, or there we go. So just put a little bit of glue. On a paper towel. Okay. So yes, this is be the only acrylic paint I'm using on this model, but I'm just showing you how I make my tar. And you want to do this before you weather the roof, because it's black, and then yep, just one dab. Then just take your Q-tip or your toothpick, whatever you mix, and just mix it in with the glue. And this is kind of turning kind of a lighter black, which is perfect. Just make sure you get the paint mixed in with the glue pretty good, because then you'll know you did, because it'll kind of look like a light black charcoal color. Okay. Then I don't want to get it all over my hand right now. So what I'm going to do is take this mixture you just made, and you just take it and apply it. You just take a little bit on the and then you just, you know, maybe have a little bit of a patch there, maybe a patch up here. You don't really need a whole lot, to be realistic. So I had a little bit of issues with this up here stand, so I'll just put the glue acrylic up here. And just, you want to make it look, you don't want to do perfect circles. You can do weird dots, you know, because you don't know what tar paper I don't know, any tire roof, especially when I work with my uncle, has perfect circles or puddles of tar. So, then let's add a dot up here, one up here. You know, back in the day, they used tar paper, tar roofing, and tar, and you find a lot of tar on these roofs. So it's actually perfect. And so this will actually also help glue everything down. And when it dries, you can just, a little bit, you can just fan it out. And then the trick to it is that the glue will also help the roofing stay connected, because you're not having to deal with a lot of nonsense. So, and when it dries, that'll be pretty good. So now, this is the tar that I dripped all over it. I just add a little bit more right down, like as if there's been a big patches on here. And that's okay, because I like things new, but you know, this is an old hobby building, you know, it's been around for, you know, quite a while. All right. So that's where we're going to end with the roof. When this stuff dries, I will trim the side piece off here. But what I want to do is I want to do the very last step. Well, not the very last step, the next last step. And I know this is already a half-hour video, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this really quickly. I'm going to trim this up. I'm going to trim Brotman's sign here down to where I want it, so that I can peel it and apply it where I want it. So I want it to fit in the space that I have on the other side. So now I trimmed it down. All I got to do is peel it. And I'm going to put it on this side. And I'm going to use black. I was thinking yellow, but I don't know how the yellow is going to look, but I know how the black looks. So the black I do know will show. Honestly, I didn't prepare the color for the sign. And so I decided to go with black. So, and if you can't get the sign out, very, very gently, just go through the lettering and just break it away from the backing, because sometimes it can be a pain, like tonight. And then if you just get it started, and then you can peel it just like that off the white backing. So now here's the sign. We are going to apply it. Now, when you apply these, you want to make sure you just go over it many times with your finger to prevent bleeding as much as possible. Now, this is my first time using an alcohol marker, so we'll see how well it works. All right, that's on there. Okay, so now I would use the fine tip side, and as a rule of thumb, always shake your markers. Even though you have to store them on the side, so both tips will keep the alcohol in there and keep them from drying out. And I always just shake my washes or whatever I'm doing before I use them, just to stir everything up. And so now all I gotta do is, you're not gonna be able to see this very well because I gotta hang on, because I have the other side I gotta hang on to. So let me try to color this in real quick, and then we'll take it off. Actually, I am going to use the fat side. And yeah, it's working, but I don't know. I'm going to switch back to the other side. It's just not where I want it. There we go. So now this is working a little better here. I'm going to pause, come back, so you can see what this is. This is taking a little longer. It's already 4 minutes. So let me come back in just a minute and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, we're back. I think I got it to about where I want it. I do not know what this is going to look like, so it's going to be revealed here right now. And then we're going to do a quick overview, and then we will be done. So with any further ado, let's peel this up and see what we got. And, well, I don't know. As you can see, that did not come out very well with the alcohol markers. So, I'm not too thrilled with that. So, I'll be right back. And we'll have an alternative. Hold ya right there. Okay, everybody. After doing some playing around and everything, the only way I'm going to get what I want to achieve is I'm going to have to use paint on the sign because the alcohol markers, the blue-green color did not, and even a yellow does not work, a red, everything, it just doesn't work very well. So I have chosen to go, just for this portion, to use an acrylic. I know I said, but it's all right. So what I'm going to be using is a lighter color. So I will be using I think I'm going to go with cobblestone on this. Just to give it a different color. Okay. Alright, and then I get my little bit of a, let's see, get my number 3 paintbrush here. Just gonna move this up a little bit. And then dab. And just lightly go over it all. Don't. This is all I'm going to need right here. You'll see why. Because I was playing with the paints and, or the markers rather, and it's just like no matter what I did, it was just not coming out the way that I was happy with. So, you know, sometimes you just can't do all the things you want to do in a build. So, that's okay. You know, that is really okay. And it's important to leave a little bit of a trim around your lettering because you don't want to, that way when you go across with a paintbrush, you're not going to get it on your building. Unless you're wanting it to do that for an intentional look, but if you're trying to do lettering, it does not work very well. So we're just doing this with the cobblestone color. I know it will show up because it's a paint, and B, it's a lighter color. And so what I do is I just fill in all the little nooks and crannies to get the back color to go away. And there's the S. Sorry there, my arm slid down. So now I got that like that, and just kind of come down and just kind of go back and forth till you get it all done. Yeah, Frank makes some really good stencils, by the way. I just like how they come out. I mean, they're easy to use, that kind of thing, and it's just awesome to see the results that these stencils come out. I mean, right now you're seeing me basically paint this a cobblestone color, but you can't really see the lettering on it until I pull it off. And that's the whole fun part about it. Now I'm gonna just kind of go through it all, the bottom of the letters here. And if you get too much, whoops, sorry. If you get too much, what I do is I just go back through and I just pick it up with the paintbrush, dab it off. And if you have a little bit of the blue showing on the lettering, who cares? You know? Normally, I would let this sit for a while before peeling it off, but being that this is the final episode for this project, I'm going to go ahead and just peel it off because I'm not going to add anything to this. The color from the backdrop color, the green, is going to come through just hopefully nicely. Because what I'm doing is I'm going through and I'm dabbing up any of the excess paint. And the effect of that is going to bleed through from the alcohol paint color, green, just a little. Kind of give it a fading look. Okay. All right. I think I'm going to call that good. Like I said, this is just a quick, I'm trying to make this a full detail. So normally I leave this on overnight, this so it can all dry, and then I'd peel it back, but we're going to peel it back now. I like that. Look at that. It looks worn, it looks faded, it bled a little bit, but you know what? It's okay. Look at that. I like it. I mean, for what it is, it's great. Frank, this has just been a fun build to learn on, and I couldn't be any more happier with it. I mean, you hit it right on the nail. I would love to see you do more $10 builds, Frank. I really, really, really would. I'm into them. They're good to learn. Get your feet wet. I mean, your N-scale kits are not very hard anyway. But for wanting to do something as simple as this Brotman's Hobbies, it's very simple. You can play around with things. As you saw in this video, I did have to make some changes. I basically took the black and tried to make the sign. Didn't work very well. I thought black would work, but it didn't for the alcohol. So what I did is I went lighter, I went paint. And to fix it, I went and took this same marker that went to the siding and just redid it. Then, once it dried, I put the stencil on and I went with a cobblestone color. And the way that it turns out, it shows that it's kind of a little bit of a faded color and everything else. So, other than having to do a little bit of trim work up here, I will show you what else I'm going to do real quick, and then we're going to be done. So, how I do the roofing is I just do it like I did the shingles. I just add a little bit of gray over all of that. Boom. Just kind of dust it down like if you have water on there. Boom. And you go down like this. Just brush it downward. The direction of the water, you know. And boom. Boom, 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 boom. Look at that. It's kind of aged already. Okay, so it doesn't look aged enough. Boom. Add some brown to it. There you go. Just kind of stirred it around. Boom. Boom. There you go. There you have it. That's how I do my tar, my wear and aging on that. And then what I'm going to do is, just for a little bit of a kicks, now we'll go and do make the building look a little dirty. And you got to go down like this. Use the brown. Look at how that came alive with just using the brown on the cobble. Brown and cobble are earth tones that just pop together. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come around on the other side. Just watch how it's going to bring this out. Boom, boom, do, 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 do. And just kind of brush it on there. Doesn't have to be perfect. You're just showing some age to the wood. Aging. Just. There you have it. We are done, ladies and gentlemen. For this build, I am done. Overall rating is, for my skill level, just getting into it, I'm probably a 7 or an 8 out of 10. 10 being excellent or great opinion. The overall rating is a great. I mean, if you know how to do it right and work with the colors, you are good. This is a good little first build for me to test it out. I definitely will use these again. Definitely a learning curve, and definitely have to use a mix. I mean, I use a stain, I use alcohol marker, I did dry brushing with the chalks just now, and I end up having to use paint. So my suggestion is, on signage, use the paint, and then weather the paint with your pigment chalks so that you can get a good outcome like I just did here. The way it came out perfect, so I'm happy with it, because now it looks like it's been kind of a worn or sloppy or whatever way you want to look at it. It looks pretty good to me. This is just a build. I'm not adding any chimney anything to it right away, but it's a fun build. Frank, I love it. Please make more of these $10 kits. Anyway, so thanks for watching my progress on all of these videos. Feel free to check out my channel where all my videos are at. I will be doing more in the future. Just sharing my love with the hobby. Anyway, if you want to get a hand on some of these good fine kits, go to Mud Creek Models. You can find Mud Creek Models app in the Play Store, and you can just download the app and then create an account and order your stuff from Frank. He does HO and in-scale stuff, and he has a lot of fine detail stuff in there too. So go over and check him out and do everything you can to make his business boom in our hobby. He is the best. I've never had any problems with his product. He's very quick on delivery, and he is always there to help you. If you have a question, he has an answer in some way or form. So again, go to Mud Creek Models on Facebook. Join our group. It's a fun group. And we hope to see you there. So with that, I'm going to call it a day. Thanks for staying with me with this whole hour. It's been a long build, I know. And for the short little thing here, but I like detail and I like explaining things. So if you like hearing how to do something, hang around with me and I'll tell you how I do it, and you can twist it and do it your own way. But this is what I do. It's what I share that makes it more fun for me. So with that, that's a wrap. I'll see you next time on another build coming up soon. Be safe, happy modeling, and enjoy what you love. Take care.